Hey grippers, welcome back to the Death Grip Garage. Today I'm joined by my good buddy Dave here, and we're going to show you how to install two great mods for your dual sport or dirt bike. First, we're going to install a set of Bulletproof Designs threaded bar inserts in Dave's 501 Husky here, which are a huge improvement for securing wraparound handguards compared to the expanding inserts that come standard with most handguards. They're going to be much more secure. They're going to keep your handguards from flipping up when you have a spill. And if you're taking your handguards off and on a little bit, they're going to be a lot easier to deal with there. Secondly, since Dave uses this bike primarily for long dual sport type rides, while we're at it, we're going to show you an easy mod for reducing vibration by adding some lead shot to the end of the bars. We're going to put lead shot in there about 5 or 6 inches. I've reviewed both of these mods in another video that walks through several ways to improve vibration in your dual sport. You can find the link in the description for that content. If this video is helpful, please remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. You know what to do. Let's go. All right, let's get started. So first, to get these bar end inserts put in, we need to tap the end of this handlebar. We've already removed the current handguards. Dave's got some Cycra handguards on this bike, and we're going to start by tapping that out. Now these kits come with, they can either come with a tap or they can not come with a tap if you already have the tap. The tap is a 5/8 by 11. If you do these on a few different bikes, it makes sense to get it one time and then you can order the kit without it. So we're ready to go. There's nothing you need to do. This works on any aluminum handlebar, as long as it's not a twin wall like a Renthal twin wall or an Azonic double wall. But pretty much I've never seen a set of aluminum handlebars that I've not been able to install these on. The Bulletproof Designs ones that we're installing today, I have links in the description for both with a tap and without a tap. They are, I think the description that when I read it said aluminum, but they're obviously a steel. So they are a stainless steel. I've also used nylon ones with good results as well. But the ones that we're going to install today are a stainless steel. So we'll start off here by tapping the end of this handlebar. So the key here is we want to try to get that tap going in as absolute straight as possible. So we'll see how Dave does here. No pressure. And the other trick here is you want these inserts. Grab one here off the table, wherever I put it. Here it is. So we've got the insert here. The trick here is that you want to tap that handlebar just to where when you run that insert in, it's going to bottom out and can't go any farther. That way you're not running it all the way into the handlebar. So we've already marked this tap, so we know how deep it needs to go. I've been using this tap for quite a while, but we'll still check it. We won't go quite that deep first. We'll check it. You can see that it won't be quite deep enough, and then we'll run it in there good. So we're getting pretty close to where we'll want to check it here. Let's do it. All right, so back that out. So the inserts come with a new set of bolts on the end. If it's not quite the right length, then they're an 8x125 Allen head with a kind of a shouldered head on them. You can find it at pretty much any hardware store would have them. The length actually works really well for most bar ends, and they're going to work good for the handguard that Dave got on his bike. But they come with a nut, and what you do is you can set it up like a jam nut, which is what Dave's setting up right here, which will help him run this in and check the depth. So use that in there. All right. Not quite deep enough yet. We want that to be pretty much right on flush on the end when we get done. We'll go ahead and back that back out. One of the things Dave's doing here is using a little bit of cutting fluid. Pretty much any motor oil or anything would work. I actually have tap cutting fluid, but you can use motor oil or something like that as well. That helps that tap get in there and work a little bit better. And like I said, we marked this tap, so we pretty much know how deep it needs to go. So Dave's going to run that right up to that black marker line on there. and then we'll check it to see if that's right. Let's go ahead and try her there, Dave. And one of the things you want to do in between test fittings is turn the bars and blow out the shavings. All right. All right, let's see how she fits now. That's looking about right. Dave's grips come out just a little bit past the ends. That'll squish down with the bars, but you can see the insert in there is pretty much flush. Go ahead and back that unit out there. I think we're spot on. Like I said, you just want to run that insert in there to where it bottoms out and traps itself in there, and the jam nut come loose. So we can either let's run a few extra threads in there, Dave. So yep. All right, let's go ahead and give her. We've got her. There we go. We got her tightened in there, jammed up good. All right, let's back that out. And you see our shiny new threads that our insert's going to go into. All right, so now we're going to move on to kind of our bonus modification that we're making on this 500 Husky today. Dave uses this bike for dual sport, and so comfort is important compared to someone that might be doing all single track. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some lead shot into these handlebars about this deep, and just having that lead shot on the ends will take some of the harmonics and the vibration out of the end of these bars. So to do that, we're going to take a rubber cork. This is a 5/8 inch rubber cork that you can get from pretty much any hardware store. Dave's going to put a little bit of baby's love on it there. Otherwise grease. And then we're shooting for kind of somewhere in there. He's going to get that started, and then he's got a big screwdriver over here, and he'll just use that to drive it in there. All right, how deep did we go, Dave? Freaking perfect, Dave. All right, so we've got that plug in there. That way the reason we put that in there is as we put the lead shot in the end of the handlebar, we don't want the entire bar to fill up with shot. We don't want the whole thing full. It's not going to do any good if we do that. And it's a waste of the shot. So we put that cork in there to stop it. What we want to do now before we put the shot in is go ahead and clean this bar end up. We got, as you saw, we were using the tap fluid on there to lubricate the tap, and we put grease on that cork. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to use red Loctite on that insert when we put that in. And so we want this to make sure this is nice and clean for that red Loctite to work. So go ahead and clean that out with the brake cleaner or contact cleaner. All right, and then let's use some air and dry that. All right. So now we're going to add this, the shot. And so what we're going to be adding here, it took me forever to find lead shot. I thought I could get this from like reloaders or something, and at least I wasn't able to find it. So what I did find are these bags of lead shot that divers use. So this is a 3-pound bag of lead shot. I assume a diver would use this to help them sink. You can get these on Amazon. I've got links in the description. And it's just these tiny BBs. We've got a little bit left over from another bag. We'll use those up, and then we'll probably end up cutting this bag open. And our trick here is you don't fill it to the end. Our cork is in there, our rubber stopper's in there to stop it from going too far. But you really want to fill that up pretty much just to where the threads stop. You're going to have the insert, you're going to have the bolt in there, so it'll pack those beads just a little bit. So if you can go just a little bit past the threads, but you're going to bring those beads all the way out to pretty much the start of those threads. So we'll do that now. Transmission funnel works good for this. Keep pouring the beads in. All right, let's see where we're at. Can we see them in there? I'm not sure if they're still down in there a little ways. Let's go a little bit farther. Now, one of the things you got to remember as you're doing this, and if you have your handguards off in the future, there's little lead BBs in here, so they will fall out. If you take the end of your bars, take your bar ends off and you crank the handlebars too far, they will fall off. So we got a few too many in there. So we're just going to tap a few back into the baggie. I guess we didn't have to open that other bag, Dave. Let's see where we're at now.
No, too much.
Add a few more back in. All right. Like I said, if you get a little bit into the threads, it's fine. They do tend to pack in there, and they'll just push we'll just push that stopper in just a little bit farther.
A few more?
I would do just a few more. I'd rather have them packed in there than I would rattling around. So let's see what that looks like. I think that looks great. So if you guys can see that, they're just out there to the beginning of the threads, and by the time we put our insert back in there and that bolt goes in there, then they'll be that'll pack those BBs in there, and then we'll have BBs, those lead BBs out here on this outside edge. Should really help with vibration on this Thumpin' 500. All right, Dave's putting a little bit of red Loctite on that insert now, and now that we're threaded. We've got the plug in there. We filled that with some lead shot. Now we're going to run this insert in here, and we're going to put her in there pretty tight, good and snug. And that red Loctite will really hold it in there. I've never had one of these back out. Worst case, if it backs out, it's just like you're having to take out one of those expanding contraptions.
There we go.
All right. And we'll undo the jam nut. And now this is going to be such a nicer solution. Even getting the handguards off this bike before we started, we had to undo them in the middle and slide the whole apparatus out of the end because it wouldn't come apart with the standard expanding deal that looked like that. So we ended up having to take the entire bar apart and drag that out. So this will be so much nicer, especially if those have to come off and on. It's a much more secure fit. They'll take a hit a lot better without twisting with this new setup. So now all we have to do is we have to put the handguards back on. All right, we're reinstalling the handguards. We got the center mounts just threaded, just barely started there, and we're starting to thread into there we go. We're threading into the new mount. And there's that. And we'll just snug up that middle one and we'll be good. Another successful project in the Death Grip Garage. If this video was helpful, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Experience is priceless, but I'm sharing it for free. Become a gripper like Dave here and subscribe. This channel will cover a lot of great dual sport and adventure riding content, along with some focused modification and maintenance videos for KTM EXCFs, Honda XR650Ls, and BMW GSs. If you take advantage of any of the suggestions provided in this video, you can always thank me by using the links provided in the description. They won't cost you anything, but I may get a little something for my time. I like to end my videos with a toast. Fear won't stop death, but it will stop you from living life. Get out there, have fun, and be epic. Cheers.
Cheers.